That's everyone. John Dobson and Marvin Ori will take questions in the room and then go to Zoom.
Blue, sorry. Translated today.
What is the halftime conversation? Because in the switching off, there was an improvement, scoring 27 points and points.
Yeah, I think halftime was about saying to Marvin, our party, our pack working a bit harder and fronting up, because if we're going to not work so hard, then defensively we're making single tackles. So I think the pack was a focus of halftime. And then, of course, our discipline, but that's related. You know, once you're on the back foot, you start giving away penalties. That was probably the key message. Yeah.
Just although last week we spoke about the discipline, this week again, must be considering 2 yellow cards and a red card going forward. I know are you speaking about?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I think our discipline, and Marvin actually said it was similar to last week. We start giving away those defensive penalties when we're not our pack, we were not physical, not fronting up because we're not there. And I think that was the problem. As regards the foul play, yeah, that's not good.
And then just you started very slow. You guys took very long.
Yeah, very much.
What do you think that was down?
Yeah, we go. It was a bizarre sequence. We go for a break foot against Joseph, and then we go a penalty, and then we go. Marnie gets the ball and thinks the whistle's gone, which is clearly his fault, and it was just a spiral of once we're in the close to our half. Yeah, it was tight, but I think our discipline. It was a spiral discipline from the start, and the thing with rugby now, it's always been the case with penalties is territory of possession, and both those stats we've been on the wrong end of in 2 games in a row. You did right.
Initially, in the first half, by the end, super highest point win. I mean, how do you feel overall about the performance?
Yeah, I think character again, very similar as you said, very similar to last week. Because we were under the pump for a long time, and much like I give the forwards, I can squeeze them a bit. It's tough when you defending maul after maul after maul and pick and go after pick and go. So I think a really good character, that to come out on top. So I'm pleased with the result. I just said to the team downstairs, imagine what we can do if we get some possession now.
Yes, Kevin.
He's the MC.
You said it was.
No, I'm talking to Mike. So I'm doing a very good job of being an MC.
You said that it was very similar to last week, but you said it on the Wednesday press conference that you sort of almost feel like it's a continuation of last season. I sort of feel like I'm sitting here watching last season still. Because even going behind and then coming back and sort of almost having that confidence that you will come back and scoring your try on last move of the game.
Yeah, I think you spotted the result of the game. It feels like last season. The only thing which I flagged a little bit was I didn't think we worked hard at the very start of the game, which is a bit unlike us, But as Marvin pointed out, we paid a bit of rent today. Joseph hasn't played much, Brenners hasn't played much, Netling hasn't played much, Saman hasn't played much. So maybe I mustn't read too much into it. We've been much better for today. I didn't say that yet. So he can become. I'll stick by that. Yeah.
Can you just comment on these performances?
Me? Yeah. Now, like I said, in the week, Joseph's been working out. I think the last time he played 60 minutes, I don't even think he remembers that. So, really proud performance. I think on defense, he put in a couple of big hits on, obviously the scrummaging, we struggled a bit, but we managed to pull it back. So, lineouts, I think, was good as well today. So we're really happy to have a player of Joseph's quality and to have him with our team for the next couple of seasons. It's really exciting. Yeah, no, it was a big honor. I mean, I grew up here in Cape Town in Bella, went to school in Bella. At 13 years old, I got picked up into the system in Western Province. So for me to lead the team today, it was a big honor. But also we've got a lot of leaders in the team as well. Last week, Erens was a captain. We had Dion, who's been the captain before. Saman, who's also a real leader. Mani's doing a great job. Damon, so I can mention so many names. So I was just a captain by name. You could see also on the field a lot of those guys were also calling the shots. So they made it easy for me today.
There's a word on a guy like Sulaiman coming from Edinburgh, scoring 2 tries.
Yeah, no, it's exceptional, guys. Like I said, I'm from it's going to take a long time for me to mention all the names. So Kyle Moore, Damien Strand, Sulaiman, Nizam was here. So I can mention so many names, and I think it's really a lot of credit to the coaches and everyone involved to get like players from all the communities. You know, it's we want to give hope to the people of Cape Town. It's a phenomenal city, fantastic, one of the most beautiful in the world, and it's producing really good rugby players in the form of Sulaiman and many others. So it's exciting for rugby in this region and you know the general feel in the city as well.
So just to go back to the discipline factor, it seems as though refs are really clamping down on dishing out yellow cards. I think there were about 3 yellow cards yesterday in the Wolves game. Is that something that you can really say down to your team in particular, or a general clamping down, which everyone kind of needs to be focusing on? I get you to think differently about.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's. I think it's just so prevalent in rugby at the moment. It's so funny. About 3 years ago, you'd have a really rare card protocol. Now every game we're prepping for all the card scenarios and positions. You know, so yeah. So I don't think it's just. I don't know. It's certainly not just us by any stretch. I'm not irritated with my team for the discipline, to be honest, at all. Maybe just work rate would put our discipline under pressure.
But the scrum, you struggled with this.
Yeah.
I mean, you got it right when you made the change later on. I think you changed it pretty solid. Does it sort of influence what you're going to do when you go to season? I don't know if you take the season across with, but
it does. It was surprised us a little bit. We thought we had more parity. I thought we got beaten in the scrums early on. It's all Scottish front row, a really good scrumming front row. I thought I was a bit disappointed with our performance there. They had a really good tactic of isolating Lettland, and they get away with it. Great for them. But it's not our standard of scrumming. So it's something. Yeah, we got caught on the double shove. I was really, and I think that probably more put us under a lot of pressure at the start because that's a scrum pen, and so probably the first domino would be to fix that. Yeah, as regards the Panzer division, we'll look at them later in the tour.
Just touching on that last question, just 2 more questions. Let's talk on youngsters. So then we move from 7 to bring us scoring 2 bottles, straight tries. You just comment on his performance. In the second part of the question, you had a few Stormers players playing up to 1 game yesterday against the Edinburgh. You must be pleased with the amount of talent in the junior ranks this competition.
Yeah, as regards Sulaiman, I'd like to get him more ball. I don't think it was a performance for the ages in terms of him creating stuff because he just didn't get enough ball. But he's going to be top. And I actually, so it goes to your second part of the question. I actually think we're on the edge of a very special generation now. There's quite a few players, but who under 21. I mean, you just look at who could play for under 21s: Andre Hugo, Sulaiman, and those guys who played Connor Evans. Imad Khan, Sasha, Cade, and the players I'm not even mentioning, and some under 22s. If we can keep this group together, I think we could be in a really good place, as Marv says, for a while in the city.
No, Marvin, just obviously, in the first half, it's been in the lot and that comes in a lot of points. How important was that plays off the place? And then obviously, just you can comment on, the fans that are back in the stadium in the first time this season. After the final last season.
It's actually funny. A couple of weekends ago, we played against the Sharks. A warm-up game in Port Elizabeth, and probably the first half was a carbon copy of that. I think we under the pump for maybe 30 of the 40 minutes in the first half. So it's something I think we're gonna have to address. We don't know what the answers are clearly because it's been happening now a couple of weeks. So it's something we're gonna have to look at because it's putting us under a lot of pressure. And then on the fans, it's unbelievable. Actually, I can remember. I think it was a try Sulaiman scored, and the noise is just unbelievable. I think the players definitely feed off that. So it's phenomenal to be back in Cape Town in this world-class stadium. And like I said, this is an incredibly special city. It's close to my heart. Many of the players in the team take a lot of pride to be playing for this team. So we wanna make the people proud.
One question for Marvin, please. Just tell us a bit, I mean, Piers Schumann mentioned in the press conference before this, he parked Edinburgh forced you guys into dark places. Just tell me a bit about that sort of unity in the team. Obviously, you don't want to be spending the first 30 minutes on your not sitting foot in the opposition's half and spinning it on the fence. Just tell me a bit about that sort of part in that team.
Yeah, no, Pierre is definitely spot on. I've known him for a long time. Yeah, in the scrums, I definitely took us to dark place. I mean, probably in every rugby game you go to dark place. I just said to the guys as well, to win a rugby game is not an easy thing. We also never gonna you know, be as a team and pretend like it's easy and that we have to win every game. You know, you have to go to a dark place in the week in training and then obviously on Saturday. So every week we go to a dark place, and credit to them. I think they made it really tough for us, but I'm proud of how our guys came back.
Obviously, everyone
I think we really got headaches in certain positions, which is great. Yeah, so it's not great because you're dealing with people's lives and careers, but we've got real depth, which is what we actually needed for this season. I didn't expect us to have so much depth. Just guys have done, you know, really well in preseason. You know, like whether that's Connor or Gary Porter's been a great signing. You know, there's probably guys you don't really know, Marcel Tunis and really Willie Engelbrecht, guys not here today. Those guys who played under 21s yesterday. So it gives me a lot of optimism, I must say.
Quite a few good moves, but then were you surprised Pierre was allowed to do those moves, just coming around there?
Yeah, look, I've got my own. I don't think it was a what's the word? It was probably an irritable game, you know, in terms of the team's behavior, the reactions with the relations with the officials, that stuff. I've got to look at it properly, but we in the coaching box live, we were getting a bit worried about that, but I've got to look at it properly. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Just regards to the question about the youngsters, you know, obviously you guys are going to play Ospreys, Cardiff, everyone towards it's a match and the Lions when you come back. Would you look to give those youngsters a chance?
Yeah.
Especially like Riyad Khan and Connor Evans and those kind of guys.
We have to, with it, you know, probably tour is a bit tougher because we're limited to how many people we can take. But then we got that phase, you're right, Lions, Scarlets, Dragons. And yeah, the thing with these youngsters, we have to look at this season. We want to do as well as we can, but it's investment seasons and they have to play. That's the way they'll get better. Obviously, the Curry Cup early next year will give them lots of rugby, but we have to give them URC Cups. So there's a sort of approach that we've worked out over the first two phases, which takes us up to the first Champions League game, and they will play.
Yeah, and then just on the red card, Sazi Sandy, I know you can't speak about the referee, but what was your take on that red card? Do you think it was a red card? It was a bit harsh.
It's absolutely horrific. There's no place for people like Sazi Sandy in rugby. It must be stamped out. The book thrown at Sazi Sandy.
Say, Jake.
I'm joking. I'm joking, but
Yeah, cool. Okay. Thank you.
no, to a degree.
Guys, dark places, but if you look at the scoreboard, you won't come with the and actually a lot of confidence out there. You know, the guys just play freely, and ultimately that leads into the result.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to give Marvin and his leadership. I never thought I'd be sitting next to Marvin Ori as the captain. I'm very happy that he's speaking. But the way I give him amazing leadership today was the way we got back into that fight. But I thought Edinburgh really brought it. We didn't expect that. I must be honest with you. I didn't prep the players properly for that. That sort of forward thrust. We thought there'd be more all court. And to stand up to that and get off the canvas like that was very, very special. And then to score some tries to make people happy. As I say, we probably like last year. Gavin's right. It goes last season. You know, we didn't need our straps. But I promise you, when we give more possession, which is from discipline, we'll get better like that. Yeah.
Come back.
Double, I have to ask about the big news announced yesterday, and perhaps even better that she himself, that Stephen Burnside, also getting more chest exposure for part of that team and not in that situation. And then if you could, while you're answering on that, if you could just speak on how the team have received the news that from this game takes so longer.
No, look, Gaza, you know, you've been around with 2017, we've been saying this is a special player and a special kid. And I think I'm so relieved that people can stop doubting and love him like we do. And I'm thrilled that he's staying. He's I think Marvin suggested he epitomizes what it's about, from where he comes from, his personality, his love for the province, his support for the community, his charitable, everything. Very, very special human being. I couldn't be happier that he's staying longer. As regards other team, I think they put me through, but I think they're thrilled he's staying. And I've just got to assuage them that we haven't, what's the right word? We haven't bought him a Lamborghini or anything like that. He wants to be, and I'm very happy that he's here.
It's in.
First of all, couple of guys spoke on the field. Scott was a pro because he was playing good, but he was borderline going away. We don't want to play to go as a team.
Yeah, I think I actually just spoke to him about that as well. We all know what a special player Evan is. I mean, he's unbelievably talented. What he's done over the last in the last season and so far this season is sort of freakish. So clearly it seems like it's a tactic from the opponents to try and get into his head. It's actually funny, when I was a bit younger, I used to try and do the same.
Yeah.
So I think probably guys try and do that to get him off his game. So you'll 100% get better with that. I think he's, how old is he? Maybe 22, 23. So he's got a bright future, and yeah, like I said, you learn with maturity, and it's better for us, or I think we're lucky to have him in our team and not against us. So we'll sort that out, I'm sure.
Nice one, guys. We're done. Thank you very much. Can I ask, guys,